This time on the Gardens of Heffronia, how to turn some thrift store goodies into a really interesting piece of bonsai. This time on the Gardens of Heffronia. Look out, world. I'm in a wacky, crazy, creative kind of a mood today. A couple weeks ago I went to the Renninger's antique garden decor event in Mount Dora, Florida with my wife and my cousin and his wife, and we had just a wonderful time wandering around. And I picked up a couple things, and then I picked up a couple of more things at some thrift stores, and today is the day I think I'm going to try and put something interesting together here. What to do. The possibilities are endless. This is the object that caught my attention at Renninger's. I was looking for something to be a focal point in one of my garden areas. I'm creating a garden area near a greenhouse. It's going to be an azalea and a bromeliad bed specifically, but I needed a focal point, some kind of a structure, some kind of a piece of ornamentation. At the store, at the event, I saw a very large, my gosh, the thing had to be 7 feet tall, large version of something very much like this, except it had a solid ball on it. This stand I bought because the price was right. And it had just had a standard half-round planter in it. And then I saw this ball at another booth at this event, and I thought, oh my gosh, that just goes together so well. I also found this little tabletop. It does expand in size. It has some interesting feet. So it could get taller, it could get shorter. It's an interesting little table. When I bought this little table, this was sitting on top of it. To me, this looks like galvanized steel, and it looks like maybe somebody painted? I don't know. I don't know what exactly this is, but this is kind of interesting. They've sealed up the seams. I don't think that's solder, I think that's paint. But they did an interesting job with this. And when I saw it, and of course the price was right, I thought, you know, what if I were to take this and have it sitting on there? Oh my gosh. Now I have something, it's standing about my height, so 5'10". It's roughly 6 feet tall. That's pretty solid on there. This has actually been sitting in my garden just like this for the last couple weeks. We've had some pretty good winds, and it just kind of sits there. But then what to do with the ball? Plus, don't forget, I have this other stuff too. When I first saw this little table, this is the way it was sitting, and this is it's the silver metal and the gold metal that with the gold trim that kind of caught my attention, and I put it in my garden that way. But then you know what? When I brought it out here, I happened to set it on here this way. Well, now I'm even more, oh my gosh, curious about this, because now I have a whole new thing here. This is watertight. So now I have a situation where I can plant some water-loving plants in here. This is a really large planter if I use it thusly. So now what can I do with it? Okay, so then I took my tigers, and this planter is big enough to put these tigers in. My gosh, that's like these things are like a foot long. This is a big planter. I mean, in comparison to my hand, this is a big planter. All right, now I'm kind of fleshing this out. Some kind of a grassy kind of a thing here. Live plants, water plants. We have a lot of possibilities. I have these really interesting stones. I have several pieces of them. I have this old piece of petrified wood that I've had for years. Never had a place to put it. Seems to be this would be a really interesting thing. And then if I suspended a light from it, a simple copper light suspended from it, shining down on it, that would be really cool. It would have to be on a larger table, have to be on a larger stand. So I'm gonna have to do some thinking on this, because going back, I like having two different projects here. Okay, there it is. There's the completed project. What I have here is something that took me about an hour from concept to completion. So what I have here is I have this tub, and I decided to use this tub without the stand. I had this table stand that I found along the side of the road, believe it or not. It was along a wooded area out in the middle of nowhere. There it was sitting. I had to have it. I grabbed it. You're welcome for me picking up garbage off the side of the road. This tiger pear, again, it's copper. Oh my gosh, what was my cost on that? I probably paid 20 bucks for that, because it's copper. Hey, I'm a sucker for copper and brass. The stones came up from a fresh road cut where they put in a bridge for a new road, and they had to cut into the side of the road, and those rocks were there. The petrified wood, I don't remember where I found that. The plants are 3 king tut papyrus, dwarf papyrus. They won't get any bigger than this. Now what's going to happen in this planter over time? This is, first of all, full of water. I don't know how well you can see down in there, but there is water in there. It is sitting on top of that metal strainer to give it some space and to give it some height. What's going to happen over time? Every one of my bonsais that are water-loving bonsais get a couple of plants. So this will end up in there. Moss will end up in there. So there's some little plants that are going to end up all over the place inside there. So that's going to cover this. I'm going to have to, I love the striations on here. I'm going to have to kind of keep that somewhat at bay. But there's the finished project.